I pressed it. Okay. All right. Now this is for Hunter. This is for our
Oh
fallen
yeah.
comrade. Okay.
What is?
Um, we're playing D&D after a while. It's been a hot second. Does anyone want to give me a recap as to what happened last time? If they can try. If they can do their best.
I will.
Okay.
Was last time the session with Greg's granddad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
no, that one.
I
I
gotta
don't think anyone
find
can
the
believe that.
We learned that, well, what happened before Greek's granddad? We talked to this old person and they gave me a potion, right? Or was it Greek's granddad that gave it to me?
I think oh no, it was the kobold, right?
No, it was, yeah,
yeah,
person,
yeah.
right? So we were like exchanging, or no, they were just giving us stuff. I don't think I
Yeah, they were
spent
just a very
anything.
helpful person of the desert.
Right. Yeah. Great encounter. They gave us things. June got a potion, and then you guys got some other cool stuff. Then we found Greek's granddad that ended up being like an insane old man that wanted to become gods and then fight Greek to see who's more powerful, I guess.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, the Greek.
and that's that whole encounter, and now we lost Greek for a while. Or maybe he'll just randomly come back immediately, who knows? Or like just appear back in the party one day and we'll be like, well, what happened? And then did we get sent back somewhere, or are we still in that place?
No, that hellscape that you were in of Greg's grandfather. No, you're no longer there. He teleported you guys back to Norca, to Nocio, to where your house was.
Oh, right.
Because you guys wanted
We're
to
in
go
Nocia
there. Because
now.
yeah, you guys are expecting to meet Isaac's parents along with like Jask and other people.
Okay, so yeah,
right.
we're reconvening with everybody. Okay, gotcha.
reconvening.
Okay, cool.
Yay.
Yay! We get
Inspiration
to see what everyone else is
for
up
you,
to.
June, for the recap. But yeah, it's been a hot second. You guys find yourselves once more in front of your house in Nocio. The door seems a little ajar. Like it's like left ajar as you look at it. Do you enter inside?
Yeah, I'll go in the house.
You peek through the house, and immediately you can tell it's incredibly frigid. Of course, Melgendoc has clearly made a mess of the place. A lot of trash all over the place. There's just bits of like takeout food. The new couch is like completely destroyed, and just like all this dirt everywhere. The place has absolutely not been cleaned, and there's a shitload of water damage, presumably because there's also ice all over the place as well.
Oh no!
And as you guys enter within, as you're like looking around, inspecting everything from like the basement cave that he made, you see Melgendoc in his human form step up and goes, "What the fuck? Oh, you guys are back. What the hell? I thought this was my place now, my lair."
That's how you welcome us back to our Melvin.
Melvin, Doc, you're
Melvin?
Yeah.
what? Ew! This is gross.
Wait, are you disappointed in me or something?
Yes, this is terrible. What did you do?
You said to treat this like my home. So it's
No.
now my lair.
Not a layer, a home, like a house.
I don't understand the
Melvin.
difference.
When we left, do you remember the talk we had with Grandma Anne about taking care of the city? About treating the city as your home? And then you've done this to our house? What are you thinking, Melvin?
Yeah, the house is separate from the city.
It's not! The house and the city are the same thing! You know, Melvin,
Yeah.
we are going to clean this together, or we are reducing your ice cream subscription. Understood?
Make an intimidation check with advantage.
See. Okay, that's gonna be good. 31.
31, Melgan immediately, like, wide eyes wide open, he says, No, God, please.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
I hand him a candle and a broom, and I grab a candle and a broom. Like, let's clean this up now. Got it?
You guys spend the rest of the afternoon cleaning up the house. Melgan begrudgingly does so. But yeah, you guys, he very effectively just starts going around throwing a bunch of shit away, just throwing it outside of the house at first, until he's like, "Fuck the city." Picks it all up, turns it, wings out, grabs all the trash, breathes it into an ice block, and just yeets it into the ocean. And you see, within like the next couple hours, you guys all clean up your house, and it's kind of like back to its older state, maybe minus a few bits of furniture.
Oh my god. You know, it's okay. It's fine. You're not in trouble. You cleaned it. But I guess I look at Isaac. Isaac, we did just bring a dragon into town and assume that he knew that how, you know.
Oh no, June. He's in trouble. He's in trouble.
No, listen. It's like if you take a wild animal and then say, hey, this is a new space. Do what you think is normal. They're gonna do what they think is normal. And this is normal for them. It's gross. It's disgusting.
You think
But-
Melvin's a wild animal?
Well, theoretically, they'd never lived in a house before. They only
all
lived
right,
in a
sure.
block of ice, right? And we just almost killed them, and then we brought him here.
Your human dwellings are typically beneath me.
I like dart my eyes at him. Beneath you? You lived in a pile of shit for the last whatever weeks we left you here.
Touche.
How about I teach him some manners and how to actually take care of the house?
June, can you take care of Melvin for me?
No, I'll do it. Just you guys go do
You
whatever
sure?
you want.
The kitchen's not finished yet. My parents are coming over soon.
I
It's
will
gonna
make
be
sure
awful.
everything's gonna be perfect. I'm gonna teach him how to be a proper dragon man, I guess. I look at him like as if he's a little baby that doesn't know shit. I'm like, all right, you're gonna come on, we're gonna do
scratches his
101
ass.
with June. Come with me.
Are you sure you can handle this, June?
I can do it. I think I can make this better. And if I can't, well, I will make sure he stays in a hole until your parents leave, Isaac.
Perfect.
I can fix him, I swear. He
But June,
goes
you can
along
take
with
care
you,
of that.
June, and says, "Anything for my ice cream."
Yes, right. And maybe if you really behave, we'll double. No, just kidding. You're going to get the same amount of ice cream. If you don't behave, you get no more ice cream. In fact, I'm going to give it to the other dragon you don't like.
Oh, no, that guy's an asshole.
I know. But I'll give it to him instead.
Fine. Look, clean the house.
Good.
Teach me your pathetic
good.
human mannerisms.
Not pathetic, proper. And people will actually maybe, I don't know, like you.
Will they give me more things?
The more if people like you, they're going to give you things and they're going to, do it willingly. And you don't even have to ask sometimes. They'll just show up with stuff that you like.
So through kindness, I become like a god. I see.
I'm going to smack him just like really like, just like, like the silly just smack so he does just to stop him from talking. Like, let's go. We got to start lessons now.
He looks so begrudgingly. He begrudgingly joins you, like wiping his hand after the slap. You guys teach Melgan Dog mannerisms as best you can.
You guys is too many. I'm not helping him be mannerly.
What's everyone doing while June is teaching Melgan Dog?
Was Isidore there when they got this dragon?
I don't think so.
I don't remember.
Wendy was there.
I don't. Right, it was Wendy, not Isidore. Okay. I mean, Isidore's not going to react to this, but I just wanted to know because I forgot. Okay, that's it. He's just gonna sit there.
Just Isidore chilling out, just watching this.
Isidore
like
is just
normal.
gonna chill out, and he's just smiling the whole time watching all this unfold. He thinks it's really funny.
Does
He's taking
Isidore
notes.
help
He's writing
clean the
about
house?
this. Oh, Isidore help you. He'll use prestidigitation on some ice cream.
Okay, okay. So every now, just enough to make it look like you're helping out.
Exactly. Yes.
It's a subtle art. The subtle art of minimum effort.
Truly incredible.
His contribution cannot be overstated.
All right, you guys clean up the house. Melvin Dog is taught some manners as best he can. Just roll me a charisma check, June.
Okay.
I'll allow it to be persuasion.
Okay. Let me open my. Gotta find persuasion. You say. Persuasion. I have 23.
23. So after Melvin Dog picks up the mannerisms pretty quick. He's a very, despite, I mean, he's not the smartest, to be fair. But it seems with ice cream on the line, he's intently listening. So it was never going to be an issue of like teaching him. It was more of an issue of like, is he gonna listen? Which,
Right.
Very independent guy. But it seems that you managed to go through and like that threat of, I need my ice cream. Seems to like stick around. But yeah, you think that Melvin Doc will behave himself and actually treat the house a little bit better.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna say the rest of the day is spent doing that. You guys can take a long rest as enjoying your home once more.
Can we really enjoy it in the condition it's in right now?
To the best of your abilities. It's better than hoofing it out in the wilderness, for sure.
I think we'll do some cleaning up around the house.
You guys clean up a bit,
Patching it up.
and I'll say that the next day progresses. You all gain the benefits of a long rest.
Nice.
The next day opens up. Melgan Doc has finished cleaning the house while y'all were slumbering. It looks pretty presentable. Just in time as you hear a knock on the door.
Do we know who's at the door before we open it?
Do we have
How about
people? We must have people.
Well, let me just go check. I'm gonna walk up and just say, who is it?
You hear the voice, a familiar voice say, "June, open the fuck up."
Oh, gross. Ew. Say it nicer.
Sorry, June dear, can you open the door? This is Isaac's parents.
I plug my Valiant Chalice, like chugging it in the
It's Isaac's parents, and okay, I open
and
it.
you hear her under her
Right.
under breath. She says, "Jask, be quiet."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, oh my gosh! I open the door. I'm like, well, it's so nice to see you. See, did I meet you guys earlier?
You were not there for this session, but canonically, June has seen these people.
Right.
as you
Okay. I'm like,
see
oh, so
Isaac's
nice to see you
parents.
guys again. And you too, Jask. So nice to see you. I think. Are you okay?
You see, he goes over to you, and he says, he like sizes you up for a bit, and he says, "You look more respectable, June, more experienced. Very nicely done."
Right. I did do a few things that I should tell you about, but I'll tell you later once we're all settled in.
They start to enter the house. You see Dochka, Harkon, and where's Ophelia? I had her here. Ophelia. Oh, maybe I never had Ophelia. Oh no, there she is. And Ophelia enter in, and you see as they all enter in. You also see coming in a scent of cinnamon approaches as you also see Vetrian along with this group. And Isaac, what you also notice, you haven't seen him since the beginning of your journey, but you also watch as Roland kind of makes his way around. The original, the first intro you had met that kind of sent you on this journey. And you see, outside of that, wearing a hood, and you see a hooded figure in the back, along with these two heavy guards, these insanely burly men and women that seem to have like these insane like weapons on their back and stuff like that, but they're trying to clearly staying as low key as possible. And you hear the sound of heavy heels, like commanding heels, we'll say, as walking through the house, leaving the guards behind. You see a red-headed woman, like almost like wisps of fire coming off her hair. Takes off the hood, incredibly regal and very, very proper appearance. As you see, Isaac, you remember seeing this figure in your past. Anyone that would like to may make a history check.
I don't think that I would in this situation. I'm gonna let you guys do that.
19 for June.
19. June, you immediately recognize this as the Empress of Dominica. Zelda.
Oh my god. June's like, wow. Your Highness, yep. Hi. You're, nice to.
It's nice to meet you, June. I've heard all about you and your friends from. Oh my gosh, I forgot her name. Dochka.
Dochka's just standing right there.
Dochka.
I'm sorry.
Dochka and Harkon immediately they come in, they give you a big hug, Isaac. Your mom inspects your body, like your face, making sure you've eaten enough, and she says, "Isaac, sweetie, have you been eating enough?"
We were out in the desert for a while, so I couldn't really. We had to kind of get by without food for a while.
She immediately goes into her pouch, like a mom style, takes a flask of water and this a sandwich and hands it over to you. Eat up, sweetie.
Mom, you don't have to. Thanks, Mom. I'll start eating my sandwich and drink my water.
Harkon rustles your head and says, "Good to see you, kiddo. Been a hot day."
Good to see you too, Dad.
And you see
June
that
starts writing this.
you guys are in the living room, massive living room. You see Ophelia, Vetrian, and Roland are off to the side. Jask as well. Jask seems to be giving heavy reverence to the Empress as he bows as she enters in. And holds his tongue because Jask, having been a large member of the guard, has a deep loyalty to Dominica. So seeing the Empress is an instinctual reverence amongst him. But you see Dochka and Harkon regard her as and Ophelia as well, just regard her as a very close acquaintance. Vetrian is in the back, unsure as what the fuck to make about all this. Vetrian just says, "Hello, all of you. Truly, I'm not too sure why I am here. My presence was requested on Lady Dochka's behalf, it seems. But I'm happy to help however I can, though I'm not too sure what the situation is, considering that the good Lady Empress is also here." And everyone starts to gather around. You see Isaac make an insight check.
Wait.
I'll give you with advantage as your appearance.
Okay. Nope, 17.
You can tell based on the way your father and your mom look. Your mom has this aura of more confidence and leadership almost, where there's an aura of authority around her. Same thing with Harkon. But you see as they look to you, there's almost a glimpse of concern in a way. So as they kind of enter in, you see that Dochka kind of just says, "Well, I figured that now's as good a time as any to bring us all up to speed as to what has been happening thus far. We have learned a great deal about the divine powers, and now would be a good time to figure out what has happened, especially after what you told us, Isaac. I figured now we should at least strategize a little bit." So what has happened?
Okay.
Here?
Well, it's been a while since the last time we've all talked, and I look around at Jask as well as Roland too. And then I'll start to recount from our encounter with Zetino
Mm-hmm.
and go from there. Yeah.
Yeah, you tell her everything.
Yeah.
You see that Roland just has like a sneer on his face as you say that the book has basically been lost. Dochka and Harkon like have like your mom like puts her hand on your arm as you're like talking about like all this and stuff that's been going on. But she pushes herself back a bit. You see that Vetrian has like a look of just intrigue, like listening intently, but not making any judgments as yet. Same thing with like Jask. He seems to be has like a calculating look on his face. The Empress learns of a battle with a Lord Zedano, which Dochka told you about, and how they had been thoroughly trounced by him, and there are a bunch of relics stolen by him.
I think I actually watched you guys during that session.
Oh, really? Okay, perfect. Oh, yeah, I remember that one. Yeah. Okay, so you see that Dochka says, "This is all very troubling, but it does help us navigate as to what the exact situation is. We have learned quite a bit ourselves. I suppose a bit of a recap." And she goes to explain, and this is like a general story recap for everyone here. She says, like, with the book out of the hands of Dochka and you, Isaac, Roland and the Indra are forced to act, as that book cannot be in hands that are untrusted, basically. So the Indra are now part of this battle as well. You see that Jask has also, like, just intel gathering and, like, figuring out what's been going on with the Syndicate. And you see that Dochka says that, recap-wise, the Divine Powers, a group consisting of Zedano, the Syndicate, and Master Yulsef Ulagon, are creating an entity called the Platinum God. Dochka tells you that they've surmised the purpose of this plan is to overthrow the existing gods of Solaris and plant themselves as the rulers of the new world with their artificial god at their command. Zedano would be the supreme leader of Solaris. The Syndicate would run the underbelly, and Ulagon would be able to push magecraft to its fullest extent, with Greg Tinkerton acting as a sort of consultant. Yulsef has the idea of global peace in mind, according to what was previously known about him, as he was one of pronounced leaders of Girton, a city that has been fully destroyed, disappeared, with Hysat kind of replacing it above the air. But it seems that Yulagon was part of that abandoned city. To the end of creating the Platinum God, they've been increasing their influence in the world slowly but steadily. As in order to create a god, enough belief and power must be earned for that god to take effect. Zedano, through trade and popularity and public image, the Syndicate through weapons and power experimentation, and Ulagon through the creation of the Platinum God, utilizing the godly relics as a power source. Their headquarters is unknown as of late, but there must be a connection between the Syndicate HQ and their actual headquarters. Basically, the idea is that there has to be some kind of portal of sorts in Syndicate headquarters that exists to where they are creating the Platinum God. In June, you remember there was like a section of the Syndicate that presumably there was like a teleportation room. You kind of figured it was like a teleportation circle place, but Dochka seems to be implying that there might be something more to it that may be hidden.
Okay. In that case, June will be like, "Oh, so that's what that room was."
You see that Jask raises his eyebrow and says, "June, what do you mean by that?"
Well, so I'm part of the Syndicate.
He fully face palms. "What do you mean you're part of the Syndicate?"
Well, they know me as July. Well, July is part of the syndicate. June is just a cover up name that I'm using for them. So if they see me again, they'll call me June. Anyways, so I joined them because I wanted to know more about my brothers. But I learned a lot, and now I am like doing a. I was able to convince them to let me get back into this group, so they let me go, and try to make a strong relationship with all of us, and then eventually a strong relationship. And I point to Zelda, and then eventually leave Zaytano. Hopefully, that was my plan. And then they would no longer be doing what the stuff we're talking about is. Did that make sense? I hope that made sense. I'm a nervous wreck right now.
That did make sense. Thank you, June. I do hope that you leave Zaytano. Is there anything important to us that we should know that you learned during your time in his range?
Well, I just kind of like sum up my experience with the syndicate.
Yeah.
And then I'll kind of like say my initial plan is to like
redeeming him.
Redeem my brothers, and if anything, just get the syndicate to kind of turn away from this plan. I mean, they already don't like Zaytano, right? Like,
Yeah, they're kind of like just working with him.
because he supplies
as a
all
means
the
to an end. Yeah.
Right. So I'll just say like, they're really only working with Zaytano because he's providing all the materials they need to be a functioning group, blah 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 blah. So I was thinking maybe if they are not doing illegal stuff to get all this stuff, they could be redeemed in a way.
And do you have any idea where the book and the other relics that were lost may have gone?
Oh, that were taken from us? Well, Zaytano still has all of them. He, actually saw him there as well.
You see that Dochka goes over to you, June, puts her hand on your shoulder, and says that we had an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. within the syndicate.
Right, that guy. I remember him.
What he had come back to us as a sort of double agent, so to speak. He was able to tell us everything, but
did he mention me?
he did mention a kind soul who aided him in his survival and his ability to bring us all the information back. Without you, June, we would not have learned nearly as much as we have now. She looks at you and says, "Thank you. His sacrifice was not in vain."
His sacrifice.
There was a
died.
curse put upon him. He could not speak for fear of death, but in his final moments he chose to relay all the information that he was told to us.
So was it a curse that the syndicate put on him?
It was, yes.
I kind of like get really upset, and like my face just like from like this very happy like, oh, I did good, to they still killed him, like
Yeah.
holy shit, that was not part of the deal. I let him go, don't let him to.
Let him be a double agent, but the idea was that as a double agent he couldn't be incriminating.
Right.
But a loyalty to S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of like
Right.
made him be like, okay, regardless, I'm going to tell these people because this means something. But you look at
Right.
Dochka and she says, "All is not lost, however. His body is being preserved for the time being until we find a way to bring him back. There should be a way to reverse the curse and return his soul to his body."
Oh. Okay, so he's not gone.
No, there is hope, but the Syndicate will be the ones to know how to reverse the curse.
Oh, good. And when we redeem them, they'll do it. They'll happily do it, probably.
You see that Harkon looks to you and says, "I like that spirit of yours, kiddo. Looking for hope and the good in your fellow man. That's a good attitude to have."
Right. My brothers, my family, right? Yeah.
Family is
Yeah, I hope-
important. Harkon
Right.
looks very somberly as he says that.
Oh,
You tell them, Isaac. You tell them.
yeah, I was about to say, Mom, Dad, we were being followed for a while by almost an avatar of Demise's champion.
You see Harkon's hand like crushes a part of a chair, just like as he was holding it as you say that. But he looks intently at you as you continue to say something.
I look to his hand and back to him, and I nod and keep going. When we defeated him, the champion came back to his senses for a little while, and what we found wasn't a stranger. It was Wiku, Dad, Uncle Wiku.
You see that a range of emotions comes over Harkon's face. One of shock and like skepticism of just like, what are you talking about, kind of thing. And you see as he looks to you, his son, his beloved son, as you say this, he fully understands that there is no deception here. There is no like explanation other than that you are telling the full truth in this moment. And you see as he begins to process it, like the chair begins to creak and moan as his hand grips upon it, until you just see like shock turn into disbelief, turn into like sheer raw anger as the chair gets fully smashed under his hand. He looks at his hand full of splinters, looks back to you and says, "Kiddo, I just want to make absolutely certain. You're telling me that my brother, who died millennia ago, like thousands of years, has somehow been alive this entire time, working as an agent of demise, and now these evil syndicate members?"
They're not evil, but okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I kind of walk up and I
For
grab his
June's
hand.
family.
Oh. Well, about that, I grab his hand and I use lay on hands to cure his splinters and take them out. He wasn't doing this of his own volition. The kind of controlling him at the moment, but there's a lot we don't really know about him. And I didn't realize this, but he must have been perfectly fine for a while because Wiku is also June's grandfather. She's our family too. So when we say it's June's family, it's really our family, Dad.
You see there's like a look on his face as you say that, as he looks right to June. And you see something. First off, Harkon steps towards you, June.
Oh,
He looks
okay.
right at you and gives you a deep hug.
Oh, okay.
It's a very loving hug. The immediate idea of, oh, more family, as he just like hugs you. He like puts you back and says, and looks at your face.
June's crying. Tears are falling from her face already.
Docha comes over, gives you like handkerchiefs, some of the tears away. He looks right at you and just says, "Yep, I can see a little bit of my brother in that face of yours. It's lovely to have more family members, June." And then you see he gets like fully, he like fully elongates, like, and then has like this aura of just authority around him as he looks onward and like past you, and he says, "We will save my brother. We will figure this out, but we will make sure that our family's reunited. My brother is safe, and we will figure out what to do with your siblings. If redemption is what you hold in your heart for them, then I trust you in this case. It is no easy task, but I have a feeling that if you're the granddaughter of Uiku, you gotta have some ability to be able to do it. He was the greatest man I knew. I loved him dearly.
Thank you.
You see everyone else is just like shocked a lot. And there's a bit of a somber moment. As Joshka says, well, this information is quite crucial, and she looks at you like also tenderly, like very soft look on her face. And she says, it just means one more objective for us to complete. But luckily it's all in the same vein. Our current plan is to stop the creation of that platinum god through access to the portal in the Syndicate. To stop their plans, that platinum god or the creation of it must be stopped or destroyed. This is the current plan that we have at the very least, as wherever they are building this god is not easily accessed. We have not been able to ascertain it as of yet. What the agent said as he returned to us, thanks to you, we learned we have the luxury of time. The Platinum God will likely take at least another year to fully complete, around the next blessing of the harvest of Nilta. So around this time next year. She looks over to all the members in the room. She looks to the Empress Zelda Aurel, and she says, Zelda, I suppose part of this plan would be to have as many allies and as much power as possible to make sure that our assault plan is successful. Do we have the promise of your guard to help us in this endeavor?
Of course. I will talk to them immediately. They've already been told about it roughly, but I will work with you and get a plan going for them.
Yeah. Doshka says this plan is twofold. One will be a raid with as many allies as possible upon the Syndicate, but we would need a smaller team to go through wherever the portal is, as it likely would be a bottleneck for us. So we would need a vanguard party. She looks to all of you and she says, you all have the most experience and information out of all of us. And she looks right to you, Isaac, and says, and I can tell that you've all grown in your own ways. Do you wish to be a part of this plan and potentially be the vanguard of this operation?
Isaac, what do you think?
I mean, I'll look at June and the rest of the party, and I'll smile and be like, of course, guys. I don't really... I want to help June reunite with the rest of your family. You know, I want to bring back Andrala. Everything is connected at this point. And I think Mom's right when she says that we're probably prepared for this better than anyone else is. And, you know, I know you just joined us recently, Isidore, but if you can come with us too, I mean, you're one of us now, so...
Sure thing, Ed. Don't worry about it.
I think Ayana would probably say, if that is what the party wishes, then this is what we will do.
That sounds like something she would say.
It's like she's here with us right now.
She's here with us right in this moment. What does Gain think about all this?
Yeah, Gain.
Well, it sounds dangerous, but this is a big... There are such big things happening, and if we can do something to make it right, then I think that we should.
I see. Okay. Then I'll look back to June. I think we're all good for it. How do you feel?
Oh, I feel, you know, yeah, I feel good. I think this is right.
Okay. Yeah, Mom. You have a vanguard party.
You see she nods, looks right to June, and says, "Truth be told, I think while we could figure out another group, truly because of you and what you've done by trying to ingratiate yourself with your brothers and learn more, I believe you are the best person that we have. And I believe in this group. Isaac, you've made some good friends." You see that she says, "Then to the nitty and gritty of this, the plan for the time being, while we can choose to begin this plan anytime within the next year, but there are some things that may help in our success of this mission. We can go as soon as you would like, but it may be much more difficult than originally anticipated. They have a lot of power in Solaris. That being said, we will focus on just finishing up the remnants of Hydra, an ally of theirs in this endeavor, reducing their power to the west. While we do that, there are a couple other things that maybe need to be done. And I wanted to make like a map with like all the lists of quests and like objectives that you could do around Solaris. But I didn't have the time or the technical ability to make it make sense without it looking like shit. So I'm just gonna list out all the objectives here, if you don't mind.
Drop in.
Yeah, sounds good.
1, our chance of success is made easier with the more relics we have. That 1 increases our own power and decreases their power. The remaining ones are the Dawn Mirror, which can be found, and this is information that we learned recently. The Dawn Mirror, which is held in the Temple of Yfoso. The Huntmaster Claw in the Sanctuary, in the Qualted Woods. Bamati's Scales, held by the Rampant Oasis. The Book of the Beyond, held by the Head Priestess of Nitras in Hysteria. The Eyes of Grace, which is currently held by the Empress. And then as well as the Etched Storm, which is... We heard information that it resides somewhere to the southeast. Currently, the Syndicate has the Harvest Sickle, the Bloodshard Gauntlets. She looks over to the rest of you and says, as well as the Hammer of Jiren, and now the Book of Indrala. And they also have Demise's Crystal and Bisha'at's Essence as well.
There's 9 total.
Okay.
9?
No, how many total are there?
Total? Dawn Mirror, Crow, that's 5. 2 of 5 remaining, 2 that were taken, and then 2 more that were already in Syndicate control of like the normal relics, which I believe is 8. Is that 8? I think that's 8. And then there's also the 4 Abyssal God relics. Or 5 Abyssal God relics if you're counting Demise. Demise is with them, Bisha'at's with them. You guys released Rakath, so he's with you guys. And there are 2 remaining. She says, the relics, 1, like I said before, will increase our power and prevent them from gaining access to it, from increasing the Platinum Gods. That being said, we also know that they are targeting the Abyssal Gods. The remaining of the 2, according to what you said about releasing Rakath, which I glossed over, but I'm assuming you know what you are doing with that. And you see Harkon says, they did fight in the war against us. They were part of Demise's army. Kiddo, I hope this doesn't come back to bite us in the ass. But you see that they say... Let me go back to this in my notes here. They say that the remaining ones are the Tide Scale, which should be somewhere in Hysteria, as well as the Plague Bone, which we know where it is. Still in the hospital in Rijon.
You seem oddly calm about the Rekath, to be quite honest. I'm surprised that it's such a non-issue. Much as I...
You look and she says, less of a non-issue, more in the sense that we have a lot of problems, and I'm going to have to digest what that means. You see, she says, we're already overwhelmed as is. If we...
I see.
I would rather not that be the case. In fact, we may have to go track Rakath down if we find that it is a bit of a problem.
I see. Well, let's not dwell on that then.
She says, agreed. Staring daggers at Isaac and Isidore before returning. And she says, that's as far as the relics go. Additionally, increasing our allies for this raid would be good. Increasing allies includes freeing the remaining 2 Abyssal Gods. Jazz says, we already have the Fontaine family here in Norca. But the Rampant Oasis would be allies, and that was our original plan. Abel is with them now. They would help us with the raid against the Syndicate. Additionally, they also hold one of the relics. So it might be good to talk to them anyways. You see that Dochka says, the King of Hysteria should be a notable ally as well, or at least a potential one. We already have Zelda as an ally, but it would be good to get more of our leaders in check with this. We can make a concise effort. The Hysterian King would probably be our best bet, as he has no love for Hydra, and I would imagine he would help us in some way, shape, or form. His sibling, the Archpriest Freya, holds the Book of the Dead. Is there any other people that you may have met along your travels that might be allies?
Well, I left for a bit, and I don't know if he's that good in anything, but there was a guy that was part of the Book of the Dead type of stuff. I mean, I don't know how. What was his name? I don't know if he's useful or not, but he's really old dude.
We can track down this really old dude if you think he might be a benefit.
Maybe. Anyways, just who else did we meet that could be helpful?
You can make a history check if you'd like.
Sure. 18.
18?
Yeah.
You remember Isaac's friend? The one that was part of the Iron Wolves, a mercenary group.
Oh, okay.
She had seen that group has left. They were originally in Norca, but they've been dishonored. And have left. But they may be a group that you might be able to rely on.
Right. Also, I wanted to talk to Doshka or anybody since we're planning on doing this raid eventually.
Yeah.
I think it would be. We can do that. I can just message you about it later about a plan or we're raiding the Syndicate specifically, or just where are the location they're doing the thing at.
You're raiding the Syndicate specifically to reach the location where they're doing it.
Right, exactly. Okay, gotcha, perfect. Well, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, because theoretically, June is still part of the Syndicate and is still a spy and needs to report stuff, so she wants to still keep up that rapport. But she'll talk it over with whoever's running the invasion, so we can plan something out to double cross or whatever. Because if I'm feeding decent information, I'm pretty sure that they would trust June even more and more.
Yeah. So you want to play the angle of double cross agent for the sake of them trusting. Okay. Yeah.
they're planning something on this date. I can't get into whatever, blah blah blah. Kind of like almost have them ready for an invasion, but then do the big double cross reveal.
Yeah. You see, as you talk about this, you see that Jask looks at you and says, "You've gone quite intelligent, June. It's not a bad idea at all." You see he like puts his hands to his chest and bows to the Empress Zelda and says, "Lady Zelda, my Empress, I was once a member of the Royal Guard. Should it behoove you, I would like to take the lead in this counterintelligence idea of June's. Is this agreeable with you?" Your choice.
Do I know anything about her?
You know this guy is a he seems to be telling the truth. I think you make a history check. Roll me a d20, Lauren.
With what character she?
Hold on. I'll say you have a plus 12 in history as an Empress.
Whoa.
Yeah, Zelda's level what, like 8,000 now?
Yeah,
or?
Zelda's quite high level at this point. Yeah, you look at the Empress and you see that she's not just royalty, she's like strong ass royalty. She's incredibly powerful. That seems to be a trend with a lot of the leaders of this world.
They're just buff.
So 22 history.
That's
Yeah,
huge.
she's swole as fuck. Yeah, no, like the king of Norca is also incredibly powerful. Like his ability to use the weapon that he has that gives him the right to rule Norca requires him to be incredibly strong and to prove it through might. You also, and the king of Hysteria apparently went through this was the leader of a grueling rebellion against the previous king as like a leader. So he has to be some kind of power to him. So that's a 22. You have heard about this guy. You actually remember him as there's another royal guard that was kind of the head guard against the syndicate that you had known a while ago. He had died in the battle, but you remember this guy was like his first lieutenant, his like right-hand man. So he's kind of like, you recognize him as like, he genuinely has like a vibe around him for this.
Okay. Yes, I think that would be a good idea if you led the charge. Let me know if you need any resources.
He nods. "Thank you, my lady." You see that Jas looks to you, June, and says, "Right then. We'll figure this out, you and I." Good idea, June.
All right. Awesome.
You see that Dochka looks to you, the Lady Empress, and she says, "Zelda, what do you want to do about the Eyes of Grace?"
Oh. So this party needs to have them, right?
It seems that the increase in relics would be more beneficial, but you're also the Empress, so
For the raid?
for the raid, yeah.
It's also yours. So
It's also yours, yeah.
Yeah. You're literally in charge.
But you looked at they're the Vanguard, so
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I needed to know. Amazing. I think that if this group can prove to me that they can take care of relics, if you can capture 2 more relics and keep them, then I will lend my
Eyes of Grace.
Eyes of Grace to you with one of my finest soldiers.
we can do that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that's fair.
Right. We just next time someone says let's fight, we ignore that person completely. Because they're too ready to fight.
Yeah, you're right, Jim.
Yeah.
Thank you, Empress Zelda. We'll be sure to do our best to get more relics then.
Right.
I look
We'll do
forward
our
to
best.
it.
You see that Dochka continues to say, "Along with increasing our allies, it would also be beneficial if we could reduce their influence." She looks to Ayana and she says, "We understand about your predicament. We do think that along with reducing power, releasing Pala and her siblings from contract would reduce the power of Zedano as a crux. Additionally, Zedano is a powerful individual in the terms of trade. So, in a sort of sense, if you ever feel like getting in touch with your business sense, that could be an avenue. His current rivals are the Balcora Trade King and the Handrian Merchants Guild. They might be potential allies in terms of competing against Zedano for his power. And additionally, finding how to release the CMF from their contracts would be another avenue, which apparently you are currently already in the tracks of, with this meeting in Handria. And Isaac, honey, we looked into, this is another avenue as well, we looked into that laboratory of sorts you found in Swalizi, and we have reason to believe that's likely not the only laboratory in Solaris. There's likely other smaller functions where things are being experimented with around Solaris. We're not entirely certain where many of them are, but keep your eyes and ears out. They may be in very unassuming towns that you would have no other reason to go to. Additionally, what we've identified are Zaytano's allies. One of which, apparently you have met before, are the Boyas of Qualt, in that seashell town that you were at.
Okay.
Additionally,
Seashell Town.
the Ormor part of the Ormor sect of druids have been working with him as well. I believe you have met with one of them last time you were here. Additionally, there's also Hydra, and she looks over to Gain, and she says, "We are uncertain if this is true, but we have heard rumors and little pieces of, what's the best word? Implication that we believe some, if not all, of Keyheart might be involved as well."
Wow. I see. All right. How are they involved? Do you know?
The best we could tell is they are either providing some resources or personnel towards the creation of the Platinum God.
I would be lying if I said that I was surprised, but that's disappointing to hear. If I could be of any use in getting more information for you, I would be happy to help.
That would be excellent. We do have plenty of time, though there is a lot on this list. It's not as if you need to do all of it, and there is time to do it as your leisure. We have time to prepare. That is one of our benefits.
Certainly.
Of course, the longer we take, the more influence they may accrue as a result, but we only have one chance at this. And as our vanguard, we will listen to when you believe it is time that you would like to strike.
I believe we've learned that it's best to bide our time when facing powerful foes.
I think that is most wise. You see, additionally, besides all, did you guys end up writing down all the things?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. If you need clarification as to where everything is, you can just ask me and I'll let you know. Additionally, outside of all this, there's also a couple side quests that you guys may have, which obviously this is meta, but your characters are probably just a reminder of what your characters are. You know, Melgan Doc has something he's dealing with right now with the dragon in Frostfang or whatever. Also, another thing, and this is just because you guys have spent enough time with him, you see Vetrian. Vetrian has like some kind of thing going on that you feel like you might be able to pry more into and figure out and be able to help him. If that's something you would like to do. I think that's all the side quests you guys have right now. That's like things that haven't been done as of yet, outside of like postings at like various towns. There's also
Quite a bit.
gosh, where's my Solaris map? I'll just open that up. I've been trying to remember a lot of things off the top of my head, and I've decided I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm just going to just open up my notes some more. Are you guys switching over? Okay, cool. One thing to note is Moss Deep, the town that... whoops. I don't need to do that. That Moss Deep, the town that Wendy went to that one time. There's also something going on there, as best you could tell. So, basically, looking at this map, the places where you guys... Oh, you're also in the Norca, Nocio now. Sweet! There's a quest in Frostfang. Jaya is where the raid will commence. There's something over here. One of the relics is over here somewhere. Also, the Indra. Obviously, increasing... Like, your personal quests will also help towards this. As a result, because it'll be you guys gaining power, like Gain finishing up her trek to like the Qualted Wood or like any of the other druid circles and getting Kranich like more powerful would be another avenue of power. Getting all the Indra together would be another way to do it. Isidore releasing the remaining Abyssal Gods. June, you know, there's like a Hitaro, like increasing your strength and like connection with Hitaro would also be another avenue. Like, you know, the Moon Temple in Handria is something. So you guys have like your personal quests too, which would add to like the things that you want to do.
Right.
But I think was this like a good like end goal in sight as to what you're working towards now?
Yeah, absolutely. But that was pretty helpful.
All right.
Yeah.
Like a year to get.
There's plenty of time to get all like pick and choose what quest we want to do.
Yes, you guys have plenty
Yeah.
of time.
Awesome.
Yeah. So you see that she says, Doshka says, as for the Abyssal Gods, sweetie, are all of you certain that is something you want to continue to do? They were a problem in the past. They fought against us humans in the war between beast and men.
Yeah. Mom, the more of, I'll be confident saying this. Mom and Dad, the more I've come in my travels and the more people I've met, I feel like my worldview is opened. I first thought what it meant to be a follower of Andrala was that I should take the side of, humanity and life. And I feel like that's correct, but, I think that if we really want to achieve balance in the world, we can't just, seal away the things that we don't like. I think that, as I've come to learn more about the shadows that exist here in Solaris, the less I've become afraid of them. I don't mean to say that they are completely pure, but I think that it is probably for the best if they're not controlled, but if they live as a part of nature. And when I talk to them, they seem to have feared humanity as existing as a part of nature that was trying to fight against itself. But I don't think beast and men have to fight. I think that if Solaris is going to grow in the future, we both have to work together to create a world where, we can find balance naturally. And I think that means that releasing them is probably the most respectful thing we could do to Andrala's creation.
You see, no role necessary. You see your mother, just look at you, eyebrows raised as she listens to you. She just shakes her head and says, "It always surprises me just how similar you are to your father. I've heard something very similar come out of his mouth once upon a time." And she looks over to him, and you see he was ready to fight you on this, but he holds his tongue and he says, "God damn it, kiddo. You're a loose cannon." No, he says, "God damn it, kiddo. If you think that's for the, I'm gonna trust you, kiddo. I'm gonna trust you. You sound like you know what you're doing. Just promise me that it's okay to call upon us if you want."
Thanks, Mom, Dad. I love you guys, and you know, you're the first people I'll always call when I need help. Thanks.
You see your mom says, "All right. I think is everyone clear on what needs to be done?" You see Vetrine raises a hand and says, "Excuse me, might I ask why I am here?" And you see that she says, "From what I could gather, you are one of the most trusted individuals that my son and his friends have met. At the very least, if we need to get this successful, I'd rather have people I can trust nearby, and that means you in this moment. You are a merchant, if I understood correctly, creator of magical items." Yes, that's correct. And you see, she says, Supply the Vanguard with whatever they might need. You are to be... How about this? We'll hire you as a personal contractor to get this plan working. We'll pay for equipment and magical items on their behalf. Does that sound acceptable to you?" You see that veteran, eyes wide, goes, I don't think I can refute this now, can I?" She just looks at him knowingly, and he says, "Very well." He bows and says, "Vetri Minorio, at your service. I will do my best to help you all out then." What this means is basically Vetrian will accompany you from place to place on occasion as a you'll be able to see him more often. He'll be able to give you guys upgrades or items and stuff like that at the expense of Dochka and this whole kind of like the Empress's reserves as well in a way. But the information, the power of Shield will basically pay Vetrian to kind of take care of you guys.
Okay, we take those.
You see that Ophelia goes over to you guys and she says, "It seems you'll be trekking around Solaris quite a bit. I think now would be a good time for you all to have this." She produces an item and gives it to you guys. She gives you guys a helm of teleportation.
Oh, hell yeah! Hell yeah! We take those.
So I know Greg is gone. I think it makes sense at this point for you guys to have a means of travel around the world if you want. The teleportation, this is a very specific version of the helmet teleportation. You're still gonna have to do some trekking here and there. It's not the craziest accurate, but if you can just go to town, any towns you've visited before, you can just go to now. Anywhere you've already visited will just work 100% of the time. No need for backtracking. But new places you may have to trek to. That's kind of how it works. Does that make sense?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's fast travel. We have
fast travel
Yeah.
to already existing found locations. Yeah.
Nice.
So basically you can go Desmoda Wildwood, Swalizi, Gerlach, Dalio, Nocio, some of the Ice Mantle Mountains, and I guess hometowns too. You can teleport to hometowns, so Valaxia, Maple Grove, Gerlach, right? You can go to a lot of different places that you've already been to. Some treks here and there will still need to happen, but at the very least, you guys feel like you're more confident about being able to head to places.
Fast travel?
Fast travel unlocked.
Travel. Nice.
But yeah, you see that Dochka says, "Sweetie, should we get going? I think we've talked about everything we needed to talk to you all about. Are there any questions or anything I may be able to answer for all of you? Comments, questions, concerns?
No, I think I think we got this.
Will we be able to reach you in the future?
Yes. You see that she grabs a little stone and hands it to you guys, and you have another sending stone that goes directly to her. And she says, I realize it might be a bit inefficient for me to be able to call you and not you to call me. So at the very least, this will be another way we can stay in touch.
Okay, awesome.
Isidore raises his hand and kind of like looks intently at Dochka. Hey there.
Yeah.
Yes. So, you mentioned Hydra, right? How much do we know about Hydra's current state? Do we know where they are? So they still exist, eh?
Yes, they do, Mr. Isidore.
Isidore Ashcroft. Nice to meet you.
Yes. She has like a cautious look in her eyes, being a previous agent of Deus, keeping track of a couple things here and there, and fighting against the Citadel of the One. You see that she says, "Your name is familiar, Isidore. To be certain, this is the first time I've heard of you and seen you with this group. It seems my son seems to trust you. Might I inquire as to who exactly you are?"
Yes, well, I'm a man of many names, many talents. I procure the finest companions, as you can see. I have a good taste in character. But I think what you might be getting at, that I'm a very transparent sort of fellow. I don't keep secrets, at least with those that I know I can trust. But I used to be part of the Citadel of the One, underneath a good old chap named Stork. I'm the only one left, though. They're all dead. Pretty sure you might have had a hand in that.
You see, she just looks at you, doesn't even say anything, and says, "What purpose do you have to travel with my son and these people?"
A big, wide smile, just breaks across his face. Ah, you see, I'm out here. I'm on the same page as your son. I want to go. I want to free all these gods. See, it's part of my my big plan for the future, eh? I can see it. See it now. A beautiful world with pure balance between dark and light, good and evil. Isn't that what you all want? Isn't that what we all want? Balance?
Make a persuasion check. Or deception check, your choice.
Yeah.
God. Well, goodbye, Isidore.
17. I didn't roll very well.
17. Okay, cool. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna roll something real quick. Alright. You see Dochka and Harkon just like look at you for a bit. Dochka's eyes narrow. She says, "Right." She looks to Isaac
I roll
and
insight?
says, "Yeah, roll an insight check, yeah."
Okay. 13.
13. There's definitely something funky going on in her mind right now, but you
Naturally.
very unsure as to what exactly. You see she looks to Isaac and says, "Isaac, may I borrow you for a moment?"
Yeah, Mom, absolutely. What's up?
You see she puts you on the arm. Harkon kind of remains where you are, and she takes you to very far deep in the house. Puts up a magic ward and just looks at you and says, "Sweetie, what in the actual hell are you thinking? I've put up with your crazy antics and your crazy ideas for a while now, but that man? What is
Mom,
going on? I'm concerned you're just being naive at this point."
No, I definitely see, especially when he phrased it like that, that would come off really, really bad. But no,
That is a clearly
he's a
nefarious individual, Isaac.
I know he's not. No, Mom, I hear my composure.
I told you about the Citadel. This was like one of the introductory things we talked about. They were trying to resurrect Demise with your father.
I know, Mom. I know, Mom. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Deeper. Isidore. I know he seems like a bad guy, and I know how I could come across as too trusting for choosing to believe him. But he does get his power directly from Demise.
That's worse.
And I know I'm trying to get it all out up front because I want to communicate that while he seems like the most untrustable person you can imagine, he has had our back against it, on this journey, going to find the Intra. I feel like him trusting in Demise, right? I know that it seems very bad, but I feel like if we legitimately are going to try to bring Andrala back and fight against the Syndicate correctly and get Wiku back from being a champion of Demise, having someone who understands this fundamentally is going to be so important. His strengths are really different from mine, and he sees the world very differently from me. I try not to let it influence my mind correctly, but I think that with someone like him, we might be able to finally bridge the gap between our understanding of ourselves and Demise. And I know, like, all of the pain that the Citadel and Demise has caused you directly, but we have also destroyed his family too. And I think that if we're going to reach understanding, I have to, like, let my guard down just a bit and try to trust him just to see how it works out. And I know that if I'm, making the wrong mistake and trusting him and, maybe learning to trust Demise too much comes back to bite me in the end, I have it coming. But I feel like I might be one of the only people that can reach a hand out right now. If not me, then who?
You see she sighs deeply. She goes over to you and kisses you on the forehead. And you feel like something was just cast. But then she just looks at you and says, "Okay, sweetie. If you think that is what's best and you feel like that would help in this situation, then I trust you. Make an insight check."
Okay. Insight check. Top check. 12.
Cool. She takes your hand and she just looks at you and says, "But do know this. If he tries anything at all, I will shatter him and break him apart atom by atom. I will remove his memory from this world and the very fact that he ever existed at all." Okay? Does that work for you?
Yep. And for his sake, I'll make sure he doesn't do anything.
Very good. Hey, Isidore. For whatever reason, the gravity on you feels a little bit increased. Ever so slightly.
Wow,
And then it
this
goes
room
away.
is kind of heavy, eh?
Heavy silence. Oh, fucking flash. What was a flashback to the very first session we have ever had in D&D, and on the same fucking player too, and you guys walk back down. She returns back to her position and says, "Apologies for the delay, Mr. Isidore. What were you talking about earlier?"
Oh yes, your husband over there. He kind of killed my family indirectly.
You see that?
I just wanted to get that out in the air. Figured that might be helpful, just to kind of sort that out now, eh? Don't worry, no hard feelings. He didn't do it personally. Just his followers killed all my family in ruthless cold blood.
What do you mean, my followers?
Followers Harkon. My people were followers of Demise. I don't know, some vigilantes of yours. They went out and kind of slaughtered all my family. I'm the only one left.
he looks to Dochka and says, "Did you know about this?" She says, she like shakes her head and says, "I heard rumors that people still followed you, but I did not know that such a thing happened." He looks up, genuinely looks at you and says, "I'm sorry. That I had no idea. That must have happened much further beyond. Regardless, like you said, indirectly, but I was still a cause." He gives you like a head bow and says, "I'm sorry for your loss."
Oh, thank you. The battle between goodness and badness, darkness, evil, whatever you want to call it, sir. It's harmed everyone, I suppose. You've taken pain, your wife's taken pain, your son's taken pain, I have taken pain. It's all part of the cycle, I suppose, a cycle that I want to bring balance to.
You see that Harkon just like nods his head and just says, "That is very wise of you. I agree. I think that makes sense."
Amazing. So, like I was saying, Hydra. I remember working with them a little bit. If they're still around, be interesting to see what information we can pull out of them before we completely, utterly decimate them and take their souls and crush them.
She looks at you and says, "I see you have a history with them." "Look, very well. We were going to focus on them, but if you would like to also participate, we believe they have a few remaining strongholds left. Their most notable one near Lake Thalia. All that remains are 2 of their archons. Once they are defeated, Hydra should finally perish."
Wonderful. I can't wait to eat their hearts. Now, I count me in on that journey. Expedition, if you will.
Understood. So another quest for you guys to finish Hydra.
Okay. Near Lake Thalia, you said?
Near Lake Thalia, yeah. They can give you exact information about that later. We'll once you guys decide what to do, like if you want to do that, I'll give you all the remaining information. But yeah, you see that Dochka says, "I see. Very well. If that will be all, I think then," she looks at everyone, "perhaps it'd be time for us to depart." You see that the Empress Zelda just says that Lauren had to dip out, but she just says that basically you are all welcome in Jaya, and she will supplement room and board at the castle at Castle Black, should you ever visit. But yeah, you see that Ophelia says, "I'll remain behind. Go ahead and take this." She gives you guys a scroll of teleportation, because you haven't been to Handria yet, but she knows you need to go there. She says, "You can use this scroll to return to Handria whenever you wish. Until then, I wish you all the very best. And remember to keep up your studies, Isaac. World domination is no means to lack your studies."
Yes, Leah. It's going well, I promise.
She nods her head. You see that Jask says, "June, we'll have to talk about this plan of yours, some other time. I'm gonna go make sure that I'm gonna go with the Empress and gather a platoon of people that we trust. Abel still awaits for you in Handria, just so you're aware. I'll let him know what's been going on. But
Okay.
feel free to contact me any point so we can figure this part out."
You're becoming a little Kaiser once in a while.
Are there? You see that Roland just like looks to all of you and says, "Looks like the Indra are gonna have a lot more business going on. I'll try to find the rest of my siblings. I'll relay the information. God damn it." And he just walks out the door. Veteran just says, I suppose I should take my leave as well. But I will return." Bless you. He says that, "I will be able to support you so long as you're not in Qualt. I cannot return to Qualt. for personal reasons. But outside of that, I will try to meet you where you are, myself and Gregory. And you see that they all step out. Your mom and dad give you a big, big hug, Isaac, and they also embrace June as well. And they just say, "Goodbye, sweethearts. Stay safe. Feel free to communicate. And good luck."
Goodbye, Mom. Bye, Dad.
Deep, deep hug. And you see they all walk out of the door and leave. And it's just now you guys. What do you say we take a quick break?
Okay.
Sure.
Be
Sounds
back
good.
in about 10 minutes?
Okey-dokey.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Anybody still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Still here.
Yo.
Still kicking.
I hear Jared making tea out there.
Oh, he's
Cannot be stopped. This man drinks like 8 cups of tea a day.
ooh.
Oh, jeez. A tea fiend.
Only.
We have your friends' parents after you guys were like staying out too late, and they're like, "Oh, I thought you guys would be more mad about staying out late." Like, no, stop. They're not in your friends. That was fun.
Are you guys still there?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. My AirPods. I've got Discord in my ears, but I'm standing in the
Oh.
kitchen with Jared.
Discord
Yeah,
ears.
fancy.
Sounds like a futuristic sickness infection.
Is that Huel? Oh no, it's Soylent. No, it's Huel. Ew. I don't like Huel on principle.
Okay, I'm back too.
Welcome back.
Thank you guys for your patience while I was moving and doing a bunch of other shit.
Did you have a good move?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
You
It's,
just moved from one unit to another, right?
We did, yeah. It just still took a bit, like moving things one at a time. But it was good. We got surprisingly a lot of shit. But the house is looking way cozier now. Like I really enjoy our space. Honestly, it's like way better than where we were before.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's like smaller, and we get road noise, but it's mostly just background noise, so it's not a big deal. And in the small space is like cozy, so it's okay. But yeah. I was excited to get back to this. It's kind of crazy. Like the moment I sat down and started like write things out and like figure this shit out. I was like, yes, I'm getting really excited to have this session now. It's good.
Oh,
Yeah, it's been great so far.
Yeah, I feel like
sorry,
this
it's kind of a lot to take in.
for sure.
In a
Like
good way.
this is a you guys have done most of the adventuring. Now here's the end goal that I want you, like, so that way you have like a reason to continue forward, like knowing that there is an end in sight, and that you have a lot of time. You can take things easy. Like there's something that has to be done, but you have time until it needs to go, right? Like you can do your
It's not going to
personal
be
stuff.
one of those.
Yeah,
We're not going to like go on a side quest to like find this guy's lost, like pet clown. And
Well,
we
you
come
definitely-
home and
it's-
it's like, well, they took over the world while you were gone. 'cause we waited
Yeah,
too
yeah.
long.
It's not going to be that. You're going to know well ahead in time, like when the deadline is, and like, okay, no, like doing anything else except for this will be detrimental. But like for the time being, you have so much time, and like Doshka said, you can go right away if you want. There's no prerequisites anymore to like doing the raid. You can just go if you want. It just may be more
Right.
difficult.
Right, but we thought that was the case last time we fought a big bad.
That's
We
true.
were like, we should do it now because it's going to get harder later. And then it didn't work out very well. So
Well, that's the
I think we
thing.
should be
Theoretically, it should get easier the more you wait. Theoretically,
Oh.
like it depends on like what else may happen, but
it's like doing all the side quests and then doing the main quest, so it feels nice.
yeah, exactly. Like this is a,
So
and
true.
it's the avenue of like whatever you guys do, you will get powerful. Like I think you guys have understood, even through side quests, you've leveled up, or like you've gained something from them. So whatever you decide to do will be to the benefit of the increased success of this mission, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Like finding some guy's pet clown that he lost or
Yeah.
something.
that
We
clown
have
may
a
be
whole
the
in-game
secret.
year, basically. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you have a Mimir.
I had some really good ideas for a Planescape one shot or like two shot
Ooh, that'd be fun.
that I workshopped with Amanda. I really want to run it with somebody at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
It would be very self-contained and like wouldn't require you to know everything about the multiverse like the last campaign did.
Well, I read a review about Planescape Torment, or I watched a review about it, so I think I'm good, baby.
Yeah, you should play
Yeah.
Planescape Torment. It's genuine.
I kind of do. Yeah. I would like to.
I've like restarted it several times and never like stuck with it all the way through, but it's just so compelling. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to be like, it's basically like deciding that you're ready to read a book because you're going
Yeah.
to read at least the whole book,
Yeah, exactly.
and there's no narration like in Baldur's Gate.
I've been steadily making my way through Baldur's Gate. I think I'm in the second act now, which is pretty cool.
How are you liking it?
It's really fun. I understand like why people like it so much. It's definitely a very good game.
All right, you heard it here first.
But yeah, I'm playing as a paladin, and paladins are so fun. They're just so fun.
Of course, you're playing as a paladin.
I think paladin is like one of the best characters, like one of the best classes in the game, just for the sheer amount of damage they can do, along with being able to support pretty well. So, yeah, it's just fun. You just get one big sword,
Amanda
like
recently
fuck,
lost.
Divine Smite.
Oh yeah,
What was it?
Amanda lost the 40-hour save in Baldur's Gate.
Oh no!
She was playing with mods and she like hard locked her save file or something.
No! Oh, that sucks.
Very sad.
Very sad. Yeah.
Well, I think everybody's back, aren't they?
I'm back.
Isidore?
Like we never left.
Here though.
Yeah, I'm
Isaac?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're all here.
Present.
Yeah. So, you guys have all this information. I'll put the Solaris map on so you guys can have an idea. That's not it. That's it. So here's the map. Any objective that you guys have, just tell me and I'll tell you like where it is.
That was a lot, right? That was a lot for everyone.
Like a lot of info. Yeah,
Yeah. That's,
Mm.
I mean,
we need to figure out what we want to do as a group. Right, we're not separating. Wouldn't make sense to.
Yeah.
no,
well,
I wouldn't want to do anything alone.
Well, we can break it up into a couple groups, then go from there. So there's groups by idea first. So there are relics. There
Are we in character
are.
right now?
No, I
They're
was
all
just gonna
together.
say this out loud.
Okay.
Yeah, we're all together. There are relics. There are the abyssal gods. There's everything we've wanted to do for a while, like helping Aeona and her siblings. There's, let's see, the opportunity to rival Zetno in trade, and there's also the ability to get more allies. So, for a short summary, allies, which would include helping Pala and her siblings, and relics for power. And then the third category would be weakening Zetno, which will be doing things like destroying Hydra or some other things like that. So those are our three main categories. Then we have the ability now to travel to anywhere we've ever been before, including a teleportation scroll to go to Handria directly.
Hmm.
I will add one thing. You guys are aware of like the Sphinx that you mentioned that like one of Zaytano's secrets is supposed to be in like the Temple of Yofoso, or like with the people of Yofoso. So there's a couple things that like
That's right.
it handles multiple objectives at once. Like for instance, in Handria, the Rampant Oasis, they have Bamati scales, so making allies of them, one, increases your ally count, and you'd be able to grab the relic, theoretically, or secure it. Yeah, down there.
So there's Money Scaled in the Rampant Oasis. There's a Temple of Yofoso right here that we can
Yep.
travel to. So we have the ability to teleport here directly. Do this, go here. And there's also Pala's siblings, and finding out more information
Yep.
here. So
And-
there is several things we can do in here.
In Handria, there's also the Temple of Hitaro as well, for like June's personal quest, if she wants to do that.
Right.
Andrea, Temple of Hitaro, Almighty Scales.
Thank you, Jared.
Oh,
I wanted to
cool.
make something like that for you guys, but just didn't have the technical ability to make it cool.
No problem. So yeah, so Handria together would be Temple of Hitaro, Balmati Scales, going in Temple of Yofoso and Yofoso next door, and also Pala and Kokomoka Frappe in Handria itself. Finding out more information about that. So there's like 3 or 4 things right there. That's like our biggest location right now. But then there were some other things that were interesting if we can group them up by idea. Hysteria and Lake Thalia and everything would probably be like another big location. Do you want to do that real quick? Hysteria has the king. King of Hysteria could be an ally because he's not aligned with Hydra.
How many
And then-
kings are we going to be allied with at this rate?
A lot.
You
A
still
lot.
have the favor from the King of Norca.
Yeah, we have the favor from King of Norca. We can make friends with the King of Hysteria and his sister, the Archpriest Freya, who holds the Book of the Dead.
And
That's
his
another
cousin.
relic.
And his cousin,
that?
probably.
And his cousin.
It is cousin.
Oh, right. That's funny. And his cousin. Technically, there you go.
King Varys
yeah.
Arias
King
and his hot ass sister.
Hell yeah, his hot ass sister. This would also be next to like Thalia, so we could like finish off Hydra and go to Hysteria basically in one go. That would take some travel probably from Valaxia, but yeah, that area has a bunch of stuff too.
Dean is cooking up a scheme rather.
Oh yeah,
Could
those.
be interesting.
What scheme?
I'm trying to see how many birds I can kill with one stone. You know,
Yeah,
we already.
I might.
I'll lay it out to you later. Actually, let me think about it.
Sure. I could also say that we probably don't have to be super optimal because we do have a year in game and we do have the ability to teleport.
Yeah.
So we could like, we don't have to be super optimal. Just things that are interesting as groups, and then go and kind of like do them here and there.
Yeah, you don't. Once you have a location, you don't have to stay at that location. So basically, like while there are these groups, you don't have to just like do everything, because you'll be able to go back to it, like if you need to. Sorry, I got the hiccups all of a sudden. I
Yeah.
also wanted to say that you guys can take downtime at any point as well. Like that's free, because you guys are basically helming what you want to do and like what objectives you want to take. So you can decide when you want to rest or like do downtime activities and stuff like that as well, which might be important. I will say, right? Like taking breaks is a part of adventuring. So just keep that in mind as well. But obviously, do whatever you like.
Yeah,
I'm not
we
your
can
boss.
take some time. So as far as like things right now, Andrea, there is kind of like some trend towards Andrea because we do have a scroll. We do have the events with Kokomogo Prope happening soon, and there are 2 relics in that area in general, so it seems pretty plunderable, I guess, as far as like things to do. But if you guys have other things that are interesting, we can go anywhere now, so we can gather them up. That's it. What are you guys thinking?
I guess. I don't know.
Well-
There's so many things.
In the words of the great poet Rascal Flatts, life is a highway. You know.
What does that mean exactly?
There was this guy I knew back in high school.
High school?
It's high school.
Don't worry about it too much. Don't think about it too much. You know what? Forget I said anything. He's a nobody anyway. He's probably dead. Anyway, like we were saying.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Rest in
You guys-
peace, Mr. Flats.
I know this may be a bit selfish, but I haven't had really much time to connect with Hitaro. I've been kind of putting him in like an afterthought. Do you mind if we go to his temple so I can maybe have a better reconnection with him?
Perfect. That sounds great. That's a good when we start there.
All right, awesome. I just want to make sure that it was okay.
Yeah, honestly, if you guys want to do anything, just say it. Let's do
Sure.
it.
Sure. All right, well, I guess we'll go there first.
Okay, do you guys want to go there right now, or do you want to spend tonight with Melvin and June? I know you're kind of itching to come back here.
Well,
It's like I answered.
give me a second. I'm gonna go. Like you guys discuss. June's gonna go back and talk with Dragon Boy.
You see him like basically in his gamer pad. He's just fucking chilling on the couch, like eating chips. And he looks at you and says, "Yeah, what's up?
What are you doing?
I'm hanging out. I'm chilling."
Do you have anything else you do?
Go out. I
Right.
hero.
A hero? Like what do you mean by that?
Yeah,
we
you
came
know,
back to
whenever there's
town
like
and-
bandits or something, I go out and kill them.
And what do the people around here think? Are they afraid of you, or do they?
Well, Grandma Vetrio really likes me. She gives me cookies all the time. So I think I'm doing
Okay.
something right.
He's
Right,
very
and do you
food
behave like
motivated.
this all the time?
You know, I do things. I've been doing community service. I've been going around. God, I get bored. I do get bored just chilling here. I used to be
I
able
was
to
about
just
to ask.
accumulate wealth and become powerful, far above you lowly mortals. But now I'm just here,
Then-
and it sucks.
Why don't you
June should
try to
teach
do that,
Melvin.
but in a better way? Maybe try to get a bit more educated, and instead of just killing bandits and doing all that, I mean, still do that. But why don't you try to become like, I don't know, a good leader or a role model for the people around here?
Will that accumulate my power?
Well, think of it as people look up to you, and I guess if we really want to give you a god complex, it'll make you be like you'll have followers like a god or something.
that's all you had to say. You see, he gets up and says, I'm going to join my local politics.
Right, and I will
I'm
be your
going to go to
advisor.
the
I kinda
local
grab him by the
public.
ear as he's laughing.
Yeah,
I'm gonna grab him by his ear while he's laughing. I am your advisor, and you're gonna run by any big decisions with me, okay?
Okay. I will head to the nearest local library and accumulate vast amounts of intelligence.
Good. And when I come back, I'm gonna quiz you on every book you have read. Okay?
Absolutely. The first one I will read is The Theory of Tyrancy.
No.
What?
If I come back and you fail any of these quizzes I give you, and if you fail the morality check, then
Morality?
you're not going to gain power. In fact, I'll take more power away from you.
Fine, I'll do your homework. God. Jeez.
I can't for you to grow up, I guess.
June should teach him about investing. That's how he can accumulate wealth
I can't
heard
wait
of,
and
to...
power.
Have you heard of scale coin before?
He says, I can short the economy, you say.
Okay, never mind.
Time to become
Well,
a
there's your-
capitalist dragon.
Oh my. Sure, I don't do that, but there's your new quest in life, I guess, your new passion. Be a really good leader and have people look up to you for the right reasons. And yeah, I don't sit here all day and spit ice and shit everywhere like you were doing the past couple weeks or whatever.
Fine. Jeez. I'll do that only on occasion.
No.
Please?
Here, and I pick up a bucket or something nearby. If you really want to spit ice or throw shit, throw it in this bucket, and then at the end of the day, empty it out so you can throw more shit into it. Empty it out into the trash out there somewhere.
So much work.
It's not a lot of work. You don't do anything anyways.
Fine.
Good.
Being human
There,
sucks.
you're doing great. He said fine. And I grab his shoulders. I'm like, you're gonna be awesome. And
I already am. Melgan Doc, be away! He takes the bucket and just runs out of the house.
then like under my breath, I'm like, we're gonna break that ego. We're gonna break it one day. All right. He runs out. You guys probably see him with a bucket sprinting somewhere. I come out also.
Yeah, you guys see he just two massive wings and just flies over and then enters the local public library. And yeah, that's Melgan Doc.
Right.
He's gone.
He won't be a problem for a while, guys. He's gonna do good, hopefully.
What did you tell to him, June?
You'll see in a couple months.
I'm so excited. Amazing.
I would say I am too, but I don't know what's gonna happen.
What do you mean you don't know what's gonna happen? Isn't he just gonna like lounge around like usual?
Gonna pat you on the back, eyes and be like, you might be decently surprised, or equally your expectations may not have changed.
Huh. Good work, June. That's exciting. You must have really done something really positive in that kid's life then.
Yup. Oh god, I hope I don't regret this. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Everything's great.
Okay. Then you wanna get going in the Temple of Ataro then?
Yeah, let's go so I can forget about the last 3 minutes.
Sure. Alright, let's get that scroll out.
Let's go. Whoa.
All right, you guys want to head to Qualt?
Let's go to Qualt.
Qualt time.
All right. That was everything I had prepped for this session. I wanted to see where you guys were going to go next.
Okay.
So we're
We
going to
beat
end there.
D&D.
You guys beat Dungeons and Dragons. Where the campaign's over, you guys didn't. But yes,
Yay.
that I just need to know where you guys were, what your plan was, and we're going to go. So you're going to head to Qualt, and you're going to continue with like the whole whatever, all the things you do in Handria. Got it. For starting off with the
Yeah.
starting off with the temple. Got it. Sounds good to me. We can get that going next time. Did you guys have fun today?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Okay. I know a bit of a shorter session, but this is like a
It
transition.
literally took you. It took you like 2 years to actually be caught out without enough content ever. So I think that's okay.
All right, fantastic. Yeah, there's just a lot of things you guys could do in the moment where I was just like, okay, let me.
Yeah.
I couldn't prep
That
all
sounds
these
beautiful.
things, so. But cool beans. Cool beans. I will say. So you guys just go immediately?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, unless there's something we need to.
No. You just like what. Vetrine will not be able to accompany you while you're in Qualt, is all.
Oh.
Because he said
okay.
that he can't go back to Qualt.
Oh,
I
okay.
ain't going back to Qualt.
I'm not going.
Oh, what's
back there.
happening in Cold for him? Okay.
But yeah, okay, sounds good. So the plan. What are your guys' plan like? Even like past this and beyond. Where do you guys see this campaign going?
I think. Oh, go ahead, Isaac.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna mention like, okay, we'll probably, I guess, gather like the rest of the relics, freed the rest of the abyssal gods, maybe, and then maybe go on an ally hunt. I feel like that's a lot. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
An
definitely
ally.
get.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, definitely free like Paola and siblings. Like, try to like focus on that branch a bit sometime for a while.
What about relics? Did you
There-
say relics? You said relics. Okay.
Yeah, relics.
I
Yeah, there's
didn't-
like.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, there's gonna be two. Well, like, let's see. There was like 4, 5, or 6 that were listed, and we're gonna get like 2 or 3 or 4 pretty quickly. It looks like because there's 2 in Qual. There is one that Zelda has. There's one that Freya has in Hysteria. So that's 4 of the 6 right there. And then there's one in the Qualted Woods. So we could always go down that line with a Gain and
Yeah.
the Key Hearts.
So Gain's quest
And-
actually is a prerequisite of accessing that relic.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense then. So Gaines questline also. So Palos and Gaines
What's
and
the political structure of
Easter.
Gerlock?
Of Gerlock, Gerlock is
Yeah.
currently it's a democracy. There's a president in the Gerlock side of Hethalion, Gregory Musha. He basically controls all of Hethalion at this point because Region's prime minister got assassinated and was just never replaced. And so a clause in
Right.
the Hethalion agreement was that if in the time interim with no leader, the other leader of the opposing like side would be the full leader of the entire the country. So Gregory Musha basically runs Hethalion, and he's like a philanthropist, capitalist basically. Like he very much cares about Gerlock's future and like in progress and stuff like that. He runs
Gain wants to be like
antithesis
the
to
mayor
Region.
of Gerlock.
What was that?
I think Gain wants to be like the mayor of Gerlock, low key.
Sure, yeah, you definitely can. You can
Sure,
definitely
yeah.
try. I'm trying to think. I never considered Gerlock having a mayor because that's where the president resides. But I guess they probably
Well, you
should.
know,
They would
like-
have a mayor.
Or maybe, I don't know. I'm thinking.
Yeah.
She's cooking up a little scheme.
Coconut.
She's like,
Yeah.
we have to stop Keyheart from doing this thing. And I also am trying to make a new relic. And
Right.
I'm wondering if I can do a bit of social manipulation. Because we have connections with, like, kings of other countries.
You do.
stuff.
Yes.
So maybe if I come back... and especially, we have a favor from the King of Norca where, like, their biggest rival, faction resides. The guild, anyway.
That's true. Yeah.
So, like, wonder if I could come up with a convincing scheme to get them to help me make this thing and, like, take the power they're using to create a god, like, usurp that to create something better and then take it from them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's sick.
I mean, if anybody's
like
gonna
that
like
idea.
believe in the power of creation, then it's gonna be like the Artificers Guild, right? And that's what Grandpa said.
That's true.